Hey, what's up YouTube? I'm back with another video, and today I'm gonna talk about doing a comparison between the MFJ-1886 loop with the YouLoop. So I'm just showing you the my backyard here. I just finished cleaning up last couple of actually yesterday. I hope everybody enjoyed their July 4th weekend here in the United States, and of course my neighbors to the north. I hope you guys enjoyed Canada Day recently. So let's go take a look at the antennas before we start this comparison. And this is the first antenna. It's going to be the MFJ 1886 loop. Okay. It's active loop antenna, receive loop antenna. It's about 7 feet above the ground. 7 feet. And probably a little more than that. I'd say 7.5 feet. The bottom of that loop down 7 feet. And let's walk toward the YouLoop. Let's see, I had to clean up here because we had fireworks here on July 4th. There was this all was full of empty, burnt, all types of fireworks stuff. So I had to clean all this up here to make this video. Excuse me. Well, I was a little under the weather before that too, so excuse my voice also. So this is the YouLoop. It's been about 7 months since I've posted a video when I first put this up, when I installed it. So you can see it's all full of ivy on it. I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm not gonna mess with the ivy. I'm gonna let it cover it up. And it's about from the down there to the top, probably a little under 9.5 feet, maybe almost 10 feet. Okay, and then goes the included wire with the connected to the extension that goes down to the basement, to the shack. I'm gonna put the links below for all these items, the extension, and of course the YouLoop. Of course, the YouLoop is a passive loop. There is no LNA or no but no bias T or there's a power insert or anything. There's no amplifier in it. Basically, it is a passive loop. It does a very good job for the purpose of what it does. This is not going to be a real comparison, which one is better. It's not going to be like that. This is just showing you that what a passive loop can do. What can you get out of a passive loop between an amplified loop? I have another one up there, by the way. I'll just show you that one. Okay, and that is active loop. And that one does have an amplify, a low noise amplifier. Of course, you need power to it. You know, just to show you a difference between. It's not really a comparison because it wouldn't be fair to one or the other. They both have their plus and their minus. For example, this one is very good on the bands that it advertised for. It's 500 kilohertz up to 30 megahertz. It does a very good job at that. There is no doubt about that will do a good job on the HF band, which is, medium wave and shortwave. That'll do a very good job on that. There is no doubt about that. The only issue you're gonna have with that between the YouLoop is the cost, and also durability. That has been up there for over 4 years now. It's been up there. Survived many storms, windstorm, tropical storm. Held up. Very little maintenance, even not at all. No, just every so often I go up there, tighten up the connector, put a little tape on it or something. That's it. And this one, on the other hand, you can see it's again, Whether people say this is a Chinese fake or whatever, keep in mind that the one that AirSpy sells is the same thing. It's the same design, the same thing. The only issue with that one is just that one is a rebranded AirSpy. That's the only difference. The design is the same. The concept is the same. I'm pretty sure they use similar parts. So yeah, I understand that this is not the official AirSpy brand for the YouLoop. Okay, but as you can see in my videos, it does the job. It does the job that I bought for it. They intended to buy for it, which is the long wave band and medium wave. And if it does a good job on short wave, that's fine. That's a bonus too. But I really bought this for long wave, and it far exceeded my expectation when it came to that. So for those of you that keep sending me messages saying that this is a Chinese clone, just stop. Okay, it's the same. It's the same as the one they sell on AirSpy. It's just rebranded. Again, AirSpy did not invent this loop. This loop has been around for a long time. I first heard about this loop over almost 4 years ago. And back then I was skeptical about it. I was very skeptical about it. You know, of course, my opinion has changed 180 degrees since then. Excuse me. So that's why I'm doing this comparison. It's just to compare two different, technologies. Basically, this is a passive loop. There's no power needed for this. Okay, and of course the active loop. So that's why I'm making this video. I want to do a comparison on it, side by side, and we'll see, what are the pluses and minuses of it. I already gonna know what the outcome is gonna be. It's not gonna be something very dramatic, unless I'm surprised on the reception on shortwave on this loop. But so far, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. But on shortwave, I expect the MFJ to really, outperform it, because that's what it's built for. Okay, and it does that very well. So let's go down to the basement and let's get started. Okay, so now we are in the boiler room, and I'll just show you the setup real quick before we start doing, before we go on the computer. This is a laptop, okay, i7. This is what I use all the time. I had it for a few years now. It's still a pretty good laptop. And that is the bias T for the MFJ-1886 loop. That is going here to this, and right out there to, it used to be a laundry vent right there, a dryer vent, excuse me. So that is that antenna. The other antenna is this one that is coming from the boiler room, from the other window on the other side. That is for the YouLoop. Okay, so as you can see here, that will be connected to antenna B, the YouLoop. Antenna A will be the MFJ-1886 loop. Now, of course, normally, if I really wanted to optimize the connection, I will use antenna C. That is the one that's optimized for the lower band. However, since we're doing a comparison, I don't want to favor one over the other on the long wave band or on the lower bands. So I'm going to leave them here so they can be equal. Okay. Although the YouLoop would perform much better on this. Actually, both of them will perform much better on the lower bands, below 3 megahertz, on this connection. Okay, the C, antenna C, the BNC one. Okay, so that is my setup here, and let's go to the computer. Okay, so here we are, and we're in the computer now. This is SDR Uno version 1.41. And again, antenna A will be the MFJ 1886 loop. Antenna B will be the YouLoop. Okay. So we're going to start at the 40-meter handband with the MFJ-1886 loop.
It's funny, it's psychological. My voice is out a little bit. However, when I do that, psychosomatic conditions exist. Was a cat sitting at the he said, "Oh, clear." Oh, it's a good one, dude.
Next will be the YouLoop.
That's me.
And I think I'm going to have some desert as well. And another really...
Of course, the YouLoop, the noise floor is very, very low. And of course, also the signals are lower, especially one complaint about the YouLoop is on shortwave. It's some of the bands are really signal is much lower. Let's go back to the MFJ-1886 loop.
Asia or Europe, but I don't think I've ever bought anything ever that said made in Mongolia on it. 73 Charlie, you go eat. A0RK, ciao.
Hey, ciao.
And back to the YouLoop.
Okay, good night, Charlie, and good night, Dave. AC3GD, Yorkie.
Hey, how you doing, man? Good to see you. We'll catch you later. I thought you signed out before. You're not as usual straight, but you're real cool flying over.
Well, it's that time of year. It's propagation. I was telling Charlie.
Okay, so that is the YouLoop. Let's go to the 60-meter band. Let me put it back on the MFJ-1886 loop. YouLoop. Okay, let's try the 80-meter band.
The bricklayer, and they met in the middle. I never worked with that. He was a real tall, skinny boy, left-handed. That was his son.
Okay, that is the MFJ-1886 loop. Let's try the YouLoop.
That's the layers. I know everybody. Yeah, I'm getting it. No, I wrote it there. Well, there's several foundations for me, Jeffrey, and everything. In fact, he built the one down by the hospital. That one there, the 230, he did that foundation there.
Okay, back to the MFJ-1886.
I said there could be 3 days, but I watched him right by himself, one man.
Down the building, one of the houses there alongside of that. Boy, if there's one, we're going to get a notice for you this time.
Okay. Excuse me. It looks like some of these bands are not the best condition right now today. So we're just gonna go to the broadcast bands. Let's start with 41 meters.
Cubanos hacia la ciudadanía de nuestro país, sino hacia otros poderes.
Il n'y a pas de plan d'austérité pour la Roumanie, assure encore le président roumain, surtout que les mesures d'accélération soiace studenti delegați care au dat o privire peste text le-au analizat.
Pero cualquier persona, emprendedor.
Okay, this is the MFJ-1886 loop. So we're going to try that first.
En el cual entra y donde es todo absolutamente ineficiente para que pueda poner su mercancía y sus productos fuera del país. Y mientras esto no cambie, mientras persista ese disparate del Estado.
As you can see, the signals are booming in on this band. So let's switch to the YouLoop.
Muy bien, recuperamos ya la llamada con Reinaldo en La Habana. Él hablaba de Raúl Castro, aquel discurso, las dos líneas rojas, así que adelante.
Bueno, decía que el general de división Raúl Castro había establecido 2 líneas rojas, que decía que si se pasaban esas 2 líneas, o una de las 2 líneas, se destruía la revolución, la independencia.
Now, I want you to pay the attention to the signal to noise ratio. As you can see, it is a lot lower noise, but the signal is there, and it sounds pretty good. Let's switch it back to the MFJ-1886 loop.
Pasarle el negocio, el control, no sé qué palabra usar, la propiedad incluso, a una empresa extranjera que es privada, pero es extranjera, para ellos eso no es un acto de privatización. Eso es una negociación que hace la nación con otra nación o con otra empresa, aunque sea. Lo que sí no le van a permitir hasta ahora es que...
Let's try another station.
Es decir, la idea de que la viruela del mono no es muy contagiosa ni mortal, indicando que el paciente fue aislado.
Donald Duck and Darth Vader when you're trying to operate sideband. But we do learn how to do it, and it works okay.
WB2 Max. Jose up in New Jersey, Joe in Georgia, 14 RHC. Thank you, sir.
Sur la grande salle aménagée à Poyana Lucidé et 2 autres à l'église catholique de Valioug. Au programme, cette année, des groupes et des solistes d'une dizaine de pays différents. Le 13 juillet, le château Bansi de Bansida dans le nord-ouest de la Roumanie.
And that was the MFJ-1886 loop. Let's now switch it to the YouLoop.
250 artistes représentant de tous les genres musicaux se donneront rendez-vous en Roumanie sur les 10 scènes spécialement installées pour ce festival extraordinaire qui réunira le plus probablement plus de 30 000 spectateurs. À l'affiche de cette 8e édition, 21 Pilots, Gorillaz, Deftones, Disclosure, Peggy Goo et Moderat. Enfin, du 22 au 24 juillet, la ville de Sibiu accueillera sur la Grand Place.
As you can hear, the YouLoop is picking up some noise. Excuse me. And it is a audible signal, but again, there is some noise going on there. So maybe it's just that particular in the band at that moment is noise. But of course, like I said before, the noise floor is always going to be lower on the YouLoop, so you can still hear the signals. It's just a lower signal. Okay. Let's try the 49 meter band. And let's switch it back to the MFJ-1886 loop.
recibió en junio unos 66.400 barriles de petróleo diarios, cifra que incluye los envíos de crudo, oil, gasoil, gasolina de su aliado Venezuela. En un mes en que las reanudaciones de los envíos a Europa de Caracas impulsaron las exportaciones, casi 2/3 de las cargas totales fueron a parar a Asia. Esto es tremenda información. Esa cantidad es algo menor de los 70.000 barriles.
And that is the MFJ-1886 loop. Let's now switch it to the YouLoop.
Continuaron. De acuerdo a esta información, la disminución de los despachos de combustible en los últimos meses coinciden precisamente con la peor temporada de apagones que hayan sufrido desde el verano de 2021 los cubanos. No obstante, las autoridades achacan los cortes de energía al deterioro de la termoeléctrica, averías de última hora y al embargo de Estados Unidos. Y hay una línea importante, la italiana Eni y la española.
Okay, back to the MFJ-1886 loop.
De Estados Unidos. Qué casualidad que las plantas eléctricas cubanas se rompen y empiezan los apagones cuando baja el envío a la cantidad de barriles de petróleo. No, lo interesante es que se ponen de acuerdo para romperse todas a la vez. Sí.
So definitely there is some noise, but they're both, audible. You can hear the signal. Of course, like I said, the amplified active MFJ-1886, you're always gonna have a high noise floor, high signal, but the YouLoop holds its own. Let's try the 60-meter band on the MFJ-1886 loop.
They didn't have a doctrinal positional preference. They were coming in St. Peter. This is all new to us. We haven't heard this. We've not heard the gospel of the Messiah. We haven't understood previous and prior to this that this Jesus of Nazareth was the Son of God, that he was God in the flesh, that he was the fullness of the Godhead bodily in the flesh, that he was the sacrifice for my sins, that he was the sacrifice for the sins of any and all who would be willing to receive him.
Okay, let's try the YouLoop.
We haven't been taught how he suffered on the cross, how they mistreated him and abused him and cursed at him and laughed at him and scourged him and crucified him. We have not been taught how he was placed in a borrowed tomb, and then on the third day he was in the tomb, rose bodily from the dead, and then proved his resurrection by many infallible proofs. We haven't heard this. Teach us, Paul. Teach us. So he was not swimming upstream.
And back to the MFJ-1886 loop.
I wonder how open many of you are. And not just you. I mean, you've been with me a while. And you know where we stand and what we teach. And you know if you've got a question, you can ask it. But I wonder how many people you're around every day.
Yes, there's definitely some noise source nearby today. Excuse me. Let's see what's in the 75-meter band. Okay, MFJ-1886 loop. Let's try that first.
Single line train. But here, all these years later, I can buy and sell those things. Well, she married me. Oh, okay. Yeah, they told her not to marry me, right?
Let's try the YouLoop. Back to the MFJ-1886 loop.
You know, my wife One more than this full bloody soul. It's only father too. And they didn't know nothing about gardening or farming. They've never been on a farm or.
Okay, seems like band conditions are not the best tonight. It is 9:18 p.m. right now. Let's try the medium wave band. Excuse me. And we're going to start with the MFJ-1886 loop. Let me put, let's try 16. Let's try 1610. Let's start with that.
Always Thursday, but you love it all. Like
Down to 239.
Okay, nothing much on the, I mean, still, it's about 9:20, so it's still fairly early on some of these stations for AMDX. So we're going to start with 1500 AM, WFED, MFJ-1886 loop.
Herrera, wide open stance, deep in the box from the left side. The pitch is right down the middle, top of the zone there. Asking for the first. And a bit of a break. The very top of the zone.
And that is WFED out of Washington, D.C. Let's try the YouLoop.
Now the 1-1. Swinging, he's jabbed and fouls one off to the left. That's the ball, 2 strikes. Phillies have left-hander Jose Alvarado standing in their bullpen, kind of doing some landscaping on the mound. He hasn't done a whole lot of throwing. 1-2 from Edwards. Strike 3 called outside corner at 95. Herrera turns away in disgust, doesn't say anything.
Okay, that is pretty good on that YouLoop. Let's go back to the MFJ-1886 loop.
And the pitch just kind of ran to the outer half. The damage is done against it.
对，好像也没有改变。
How you right? Beats the American. Pulling for Fritz was a Watt greatness in action, and a true competitor that refused to lose was amazing today.
I have no doubt about it, and I know that Twitter was going crazy, and I'll tell you right now, it's funny, so many people at the radio.
This is 1530 out of Buffalo, New York, MFJ-1886 loop.
And similar to you, multiple people were pulling for Fritz, and so they're like, come on, Fritz. And I said, who's he playing? He said, Nadal. And I said, hey, you watch your mouth. That's Mama Jew's guy. Nadal, Mama Jew will cut for somebody. Nadal. So, yeah, so I was like, hey, you better watch your mouth. She will come for you. She will get you. I promise you. She will.
Now the YouLoop.
Because I knew that Mama Q was happy, but man, I was so angry because obviously with it being across the pond, the times are different. So I'm actually trying to be the responsible employee and try to do my work, and I'm going and I'm feeding off the emotions of people at the station. I hear people screaming and yelling. I'm like, hey, keep it down over there. At the same time, my heart's like, dang, I wish I was over there watching the tennis match with them.
You know when you're watching greatness? Yep. When you have other elite athletes.
Back to the MFJ-1886 loop. And Definitely some overloading going on right now. Some noise. Let's try another station. Let's go down to, let's see. Let's see what's on 1200. Actually, 1210.
For escape, visit Spring Dance in Jamison, Exton, Plymouth Meeting, or Marlton. SpringDanceHotTubs.com. Tell them Dawn sent you. Kitchen appliances like yours, but the cost of everything seems to keep going up.
Not at National Appliance Warehouse.
How?
They have billions in buying power, which they leverage so they can pass on massive savings to their customers. That's how they beat the big box stores on price.
They beat the big box stores on price?
Okay, that is WPHT out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and that is with the MFJ-1886 loop. Let's try the YouLoop.
They do it all. Delivery, installation, everything. You've got to head to their showroom.
In Wilmington?
Yes. They may not be the closest, but they'll make your wallet the happiest.
The incredible 4th of July mega sale has been extended. Save on LG. How about a deluxe stainless steel kitchen suite with French door refrigerator from LG, regularly $39.99 for only $26.99 after rebate. That's a budget saving $1,300. Save big on LG. Preview the savings at NationalApplianceWarehouse.com or visit their easily accessible showroom on 202 in tax-free Wilmington or in Middletown, Delaware.
Educate yourself on carbon capture and RINs. Listen to the Labor and Energy Show, presented by PBF Energy and Furness Electrical Engineers.
So it's pretty good. Pretty good on this station right here. Let's try another station. Let's go down to 11. Let's try 1180.
Really? And I mean, the scary part is they're in control of everything. You know, these things, the sexualization of children, the sexual abuse of children, mass starvation, total control of our bodies and our economies, subsistence living, plant-based diets.
So this is WHAM 1180 with the MFJ-1886 loop. Let's try the YouLoop.
But they are representing what this larger global agenda is, and there are some seriously wicked, evil people at the top who have enormous amounts of money and power.
Yeah, it sounds a lot lower on the YouLoop. Let's go back to the MFJ-1886 loop.
The massive banking institutions that save the global economy, they're putting these programs and these agendas in place, and they have them. And, you know, when
seems like the both pick up the station, of course. Higher noise floor with the MFJ. And of course, also, it is still early. It is 9:26, and usually a couple of more hours or so, these stations will be more, especially after midnight. It'll be more signal. So so far it's okay. Let's try another station here. Let's go down to 11. Let's see if we can pick up 1110.
To win the Hispanic vote using a Bush-era brand of compassionate conservatism was nothing to do with.
Now this is 1110 out of this is WBT. This is out of Charlotte, North Carolina, and this is with the MFJ-1886 loop. As you can hear, it's pretty good.
The Trump age has given rise to a new brand of Texas Republicans, one of whom is already walking the halls of Congress, the far-right Fatima. What a bigot. What a jerk. This Jennifer Medina and her stereotype, right out of the box. Right out of the box.
So this is very strong signal. Let's try the YouLoop.
And wearing her support for Donald Trump on her sleeve. More Marjorie Taylor Greene than Kay Bailey Hutchison. She's a conservative, ladies and gentlemen. You don't need to be throwing in other people's names and all the rest of it. That's what she is. She was driven to run because she saw what's happening to her country and her community. So rather than celebrate her and celebrate not just racial diversity, but intellectual diversity, now they're out to destroy her. The same New York Times, the anti-Semitic.
So that is pretty good for WBT with the YouLoop. So let's go, let's try. Let's see what other station we can pick up. And let's see if maybe there's a possibility that one of them can pick up KDKA.
First job of a lot of things, I think, is it 4221.
I know one thing.
So the MFJ-1886 loop is picking up KDKA out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Of course, there is a blowtorch right here, which is 1010 winds, but you can see that little carrier right there. Of course, I have to do lower side band, because if I put let me show you. Excuse me.
The first thing my dad always said to me, kids in tow, diaper bag, I'd come through the door, exhausted. He'd say, how was work today? What'd you do at work today? And
I'm sorry. Yeah, I have to put on the USB side because the signal will bleed over to, okay? So I can pick up KDKA on the MFJ-1886 loop at this time, which is pretty good.
You're doing at work tomorrow. So it was just, it's who I was from day one. And as much as I used to say, isn't there anything else to talk about? If my dad didn't lay that groundwork, where would I be today? So it's just about that.
So this is an example of using the bandwidth, upper sideband, lower sideband, and so on too. Let's try the YouLoop KDKA.
For opportunity. You want to stop gun violence. You want to stop the opioid crisis. You want to stop unemployment. You want to have better health care. You want to have better schools. Get young people thinking about generating business and going to work, and to take that to the next generation and the generation after that. Everything will fall in place if we get back to the rightful place that this country has been its entire time since day one, moving the world.
MFJ-1886 loop.
With offices in Pittsburgh, Johnstown, and Weirton, the mesothelioma attorneys can easily come to you. For a free consultation, you can email GPW at info@GP.
Okay, back to the YouLoop. So that's pretty cool that it picked up KDKA at this time. Normally that is excuse me. I don't want to say a difficult catch, but it can be at times a difficult catch because of 1010 winds. So I'm very impressed with that. That's quite impressive. Actually, on both antennas, especially the YouLoop. Okay, so let's go down to, let's see what other station we can pick up. Of course, this is CHML. Let's try with the MFJ.
The BBC Small Business Loan is all for entrepreneurs. All for giving you quick and easy online access to the funds you need to increase your cash flow, buy new equipment, or invest in new technology.
So that is CHML out of Hamilton, Ontario. Let's try the YouLoop.
The time is right to make your move. Hi, I'm Michael from Michael St. Jean Realty. When life changes, we'll help you move on it, like we did with Christopher. We lived in Lancaster and...
Yeah, it's a little lower on the YouLoop, but however, it's still early for that. But the MFJ is Picks it up pretty
We
good.
listed for 6 days. We had 50 showings. We received 12 offers, all of which were over anything that we expected. Our satisfaction level would be at...
Okay, so let's go lower now. Let's go down to the... Let's see. Let's go to... Let's see if we can pick up 720, actually. Okay, that is WGN out of Chicago. Of course, it's still early for that too. Let's try the YouLoop. Yeah, it's barely audible on that one. Okay, I never lowered again. Let's try the WJR out of Detroit with the MFJ-1886 loop.
Whether you like it or not, Mark Levin is on the radio.
Now, of course, this one I have to use lower sideband because WABC is right here. Is powerful station, 50,000 watts. As you can see, is a blowtorch. So I have to do lower sideband on this one, but you can sounds okay. Again, it's still early for these stations, and as they as the night progresses, the signals will get stronger, and the blowtorch will die down a little bit. So let's try the MFJ-1886 loop WJR.
Mr. Producer, the executive producer, he and his family advanced of it. And now I'm working with American Finance and MasterCard. It's a wonderful experience. I've had to work with mortgage companies and banks before. Absolute pain in the you-know-what. This is smooth.
Yeah, it's not bad. Not bad at all for the YouLoop. Unfortunately, I had to cut the comparison video short because when we got down to about 740 kilohertz, I started having issues with both antennas in terms of the noise. And then, of course, when we went down to Longwave, either antenna, I was not able to get any Longwave signals. It was a lot of noise, and that is due to the band conditions at the moment. I didn't want to waste another 20 minutes going through, which I did in the video. I just cut that. I just edited that out because there was no point in just hearing a bunch of noise. Of course, if I would have done this video maybe in the winter time or in the late fall, conditions would have been better for Longwave and for the lower portion of the medium wave band. Unfortunately, right now in July, plus the time of day, it was not favorable. It was just not going to work. So that's why I cut the video short. Now, in hindsight, if I had to do it again, of course, I will probably do most likely I will do another comparison video later on during the year. And also maybe incorporate the third antenna, which would probably be the MLA-30 Plus. So we're going to have a three-way. I'm going to most likely I will do that. Just for a three-way comparison. And of course, like I said, I'll do it sometime in the fall when band conditions are better for long wave and so on. And also, I may be looking into the AirSpy version of the YouLoop. Okay, so this is the AirSpy right here, the specs right here. Okay, and I may look into this one only because just to be you know, like I said, I got comments about I'm probably using a clone, which I don't think it is. It's just like I said, a rebrand, but I'll just probably get it because, you know, just to make it official, I guess. I don't know. I'll look into that. And also, I may even do the next comparison. I may use the excuse me, HF Discovery Plus, only because you know, I don't have to, you know, like what happened with the other comparison, I had used A and B, but I really couldn't use C. I mean, I could have used it if I had a physical antenna switch, which I probably should have done. But of course, again, the conditions were not favorable for Longwave tonight. So we're going to revisit that in the future. Okay? So let me close this video by saying thank you. Thank you for watching my video. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for the likes. And also thank you for us getting to 2,000 subscribers. And that is a big deal for me. Right now I'm at 2,130 subscribers. And I just want to say thank you to everybody about that. And yeah, so thanks again. And let me close this video by saying hopefully we'll get to 3,000 subscribers. How about that? And just post some suggestions what you want me to do on my next videos. Not only comparisons, but also reviews. If you want an in-depth review on a particular radio that I own, or you want to suggest reviewing anything, an antenna, whatever, hit me in the comments, let me know. And also email me. My email is right here, about page. My email is right here. DannyRadioAndTech@gmail.com. Email me. Okay? And give me some suggestions. Okay? So let me wrap this up. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.